we wanted to get Lindsey Glass's attorney, Scott Palmer, on to see if he could explain what the heck is happening with Lindsey Glass and why she's possibly going to go to jail for a year for something that even the police say you saved lives. Welcome to the program, Scott Palmer.
Thank you. Nice to be on.
Thank you. So can you tell me the story? What are we missing in this story? Why are they pursuing this?
I have no idea. Some cases should be prosecuted and some are just plain should never be. The idea that this case should be the legacy of this horrible tragedy. This is what we're talking about now, rather than the mental health and the domestic abuse and the fact that this was a premeditated heinous crime that was going to happen regardless of where this man was drinking or not drinking. It is an insult to the actual memories of these 7 people that were killed. A couple things that I wanted to make sure that we were clear on. She did not know he was drunk. She served him alcohol, as you said, over a 4-hour period of time. But the idea that she understood he was intoxicated that's the fact question. That's the big issue. That's something we're going to fight. She did understand and appreciate he was acting strangely.
Right. And she knew him in some way or another. He was a regular there. But she served 2 hard liquor drinks and 2 beers over a 4-hour period. I mean, your body will. Well,
it's been a drink an hour is what your body works through, right?
Your body will work through that. How is she even responsible at all?
Well, she's not, and that's why. I mean, the law is, and I heard your intro in the dram shop area where you overserve somebody and they get in a wreck, an accident. Okay, and then there's liability under the civil law.
Mm-hmm.
But and the bar was sued by the lawyers that represented the families, and I do those types of cases as well. And I got to be honest with you, if they came to me with the theory that the bar is responsible for the death of these people, when you've got a massive proximate cause issue, you got an intentional act that was planned, premeditated for probably weeks. He had an armory in his apartment of thousands and thousands of rounds and guns, and he had been plotting this apparently for a while. But to put liability on the bar or the bartender for what he did is just, I can see why you're angry and why you're doing the story, and that's why the world has been attracted to the story. It doesn't make any sense to prosecute her.
There's no justice here. There's no justice being done on this.
No, I completely agree with you.
Is it all true that she left the bar?
First, she tried to stop him, right? Before leaving. Before he left, she tried to stop him.
They had a conversation. They went outside, and she's like, "What's going on? You're not acting. You're acting strange." And he was very veiled in what he was saying, and she was asking, "Is this about Meredith, which is his soon-to-be ex-wife?" And he's no, it has nothing to do with her. And so he lied, and apparently he's a master manipulator, according to his ex-mother-in-law. And he's a very adept drunk, which means he is able to mask his intoxication and fool people into serving him, which is exactly what happened here.
Mm-hmm.
So she just got a bad vibe from him, and he ends up believing, and she just did not feel right. So she literally leaves the bar. Who leaves their work?
Nobody.
No,
I honestly, Scott, I think Lindsey is a hero.
Yeah,
I really do.
She did something extraordinary.
She did.
And she left the bar. Now, I understand that the house that he went to was his ex-wife's house. And she had moved on, and Lindsey thought that this Spencer had moved on too. They had conversations. They were friendly. They weren't best friends, but Lindsey was supposed to be at the house that night. There was a Cowboy. I think they were playing the Falcons. It was the first game of the year in 2017. And but she was working. She had a bar full of people, 8 to 10 people is with the video. I haven't seen the video yet. And she's paying attention to a lot of folks, including him, but not enough meaningful time to observe him, his walk, and that's what a lot of the probable cause affidavit was talking about, how he was walking and his mannerisms. But
he's a bartender on a sports night. Good heavens. I mean, this is ridiculous.
And she does call her bar manager, and then they called the owner, and there were some text messages that they quoted saying that, she thought he was, crazy or something. And maybe he was crazy. He was about to commit mass murder that nobody knew. But she leaves the bar, literally leaves the bar, and has a customer man and not serve anybody. He's like, just hold the fort. I've got to go. Extraordinary move on her part. Drives down with her bartender who wasn't working that night, came in off the clock, and she goes to the home of Meredith, and she sees this vehicle, Spencer's vehicle, behind, like in the alleyway. We have alleyways in Texas. And she freaks out and calls 911 immediately, just has this premonition that something bad is happening. Why is he here? He's not supposed to be here. What's going on? And she links up his bizarre behavior, calls 911, and they tell her to leave, get out of the way, and then 8 minutes later, 7 people are dead. But if she hadn't called 911, the SWAT team had not been able to be out there when they did, more people would have been dead.